Hey, good morning, guys. This is a public service announcement from Oracle Jiu-Jitsu. This is essentially a continuation of my previous thread that I put on our group chat regarding IBJJF versus non-IBJJF, for example, ADCC. So I want to talk a little bit about a couple of things. First and foremost, stating the obvious that BJJ is a martial art, obviously. So we all sort of know going into the fact that it involves a lot of physical activity, very strenuous activities. The risk of injury is quite high if we are practicing jiu-jitsu. It's just the nature of the art and the sport. So I wanted to just level set expectations that I was talking to one of the students earlier that we really need to have expectations set for ourselves to understand that injuries are real and they are highly probable over time. I would give it as a expectation about one decent injury per year, if not probably two. That's just the reality of it, right? So if you expect anything less, it's just probably not going to happen, right? Unless you're some freak athlete nature of athletic person. But if you set these expectations for yourself and you further support it with proper training and health, you can minimize these injuries and even in fact reduce the amount of time for recovery and healing. So that's the good news. That's the takeaway, that building the proper muscle groups surrounding these typical areas, which I'll go into shortly, building these muscle groups around it will in fact help you in the long run. Some of you probably heard me talk about some of this stuff in the past. There's been a recent spate of injuries on the mat, and that's why really I want to talk about this, is that I want to go over best practices. And I know I've meant to create a page, and I'm just having some issues with my website, but I will create this page that sort of summarizes what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so the basic best practices, and this isn't just for Oracle Jiu-Jitsu, it's across all martial arts and definitely all across all jiu-jitsu academies. Okay, so first and foremost is play nice, right? So I don't think we have an issue here. We're a small academy and everyone knows each other and we're all pretty good with each other. So everyone plays nice. My job as a coach is to run an academy, but also to keep everyone safe, right? I don't need anyone getting injured. I've been there. It sucks, right? So that's my job, is to protect everyone, okay? To provide a safe and comfortable environment, yet allowing us to have some fun. Try not to injure your partner, okay? So common injuries are things like hyperflexing of joints, not being able to, take a certain submission to the point of submission, right? So you guys have always heard me say jiu-jitsu is maximum pain for minimum effort, but that's in a combat situation or on a street situation. But on a mat situation, we're taking people right up to that edge where they can submit either verbal or physical tap, right? So you're not looking to go over that threshold, otherwise people get injured. So I would just advise, take it easy, guys. We're not here to destroy limbs. We're here to have some fun and practice our technique right up to that point, okay? So some of the common ones that I was mentioning: hyperflexing of joints, stack passing is another big one. So particularly the bigger guys, we can sometimes unavoidably use our weight sometimes excessively on, especially particularly perhaps lighter people. Even myself, actually, I'm a fairly big guy, but I've had someone a little bit smaller than me, but very powerful and older, actually, a judoka, a black belt, who had stacked past me quite heavily and pretty much injured my back, and I couldn't even walk for the next few days. Actually, I was in bed. So watch for that. Illegal moves like knee bars and heel hooks. So these are all, again, non-IBJJF submission techniques. So that brings me to the next point, which is stick to IBJJF rule set in our mats, okay? That doesn't mean necessarily that you cannot practice some of these more moves that are very common now and are getting a lot of attention in the media, with particularly no-gi or non-IBJJF rule sets like ADCC. You can do them. The exception to that is that you must agree with both parties that you're going to use non-IBJJF rule sets. So if you come to an agreement before your match that you're agreeing to that, then yeah, sure. Heel hooks, toe holds, knee bars are all on the table. Now, you just have to realize that is a total different ball of wax, and your risk of injury dramatically increases. There's a reason why IBJJF created the rules. They have the most amount of historical experience in this regard. Okay, so that's why these things are in place. Sure, we can talk about things like knee reaping and blah blah blah, but in terms of some of the bigger ones, they're there for a reason. Okay, I wanted to give you also a tip. So it's something that I've just sort of experienced through the years, which is summarized as in energy in is going to equal to your energy out. Okay, so if you're coming into a match with guns blazing, full energy out, oftentimes you're going to be met with equal or greater energy coming back at you. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. It's more of a strategic, tactical sort of approach to a combat. Oftentimes you'll see me, the comments I get back is that I'm quite cool and collected on the mat. Of course, more experience allows you to do that, but it's something that you might want to experience yourself, is that you don't necessarily always have to go 100% out, because that will elicit greater response from your competitor. If you go a little bit lighter, they go a little bit lighter. So you both can use more technique versus more strength, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, lastly is read the IBJJF rule set. I'm going to attach it to our thread in a second. You don't necessarily have to go through the entire PDF, although there's interesting stuff in it. If you can, take a read through the entire PDF, but at a minimum, read the table at least and see what is legal and what is not legal within your belt. Okay, and then lastly, most importantly, have fun. Okay guys, if you have any questions, let's talk about it on our thread. All right, have a great day.